I want to talk about a couple of subjects really, which are quite dear to my heart. The one is the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and also why is Britain broke, why are we in crisis, why is there no jobs for the kids. Right, start with the IMF. We went cap in hand to the IMF in 1976. We needed an injection of money quickly because at the time Britain was in control of the railway industry, it was in control of the electricity board, the gas board, the water board. It was all nationalised at the time. There was no privatisation in 1976. The reason why we needed money was because sterling was doing bad around the world, gold was down and the oil price was up. And Britain needed money just to basically keep itself going, to pay the people in its industry, if you like. So we went cap in hand to the IMF. When you borrow money from the IMF, you sign what is called conditionality policies. Now these conditionality policies state that you must fulfill these agreements, otherwise you will be liable for sanctions. So the first of their agreements is you must sell off your government departments, i.e. your gas board, your electricity board. You must sell off these assets, and what you do with the money, you then pay back the International Monetary Fund what you owe them. Excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. You then pay back the IMF with the money which you owe them. Not only that, that leaves you vulnerable because you've then got no assets and you've also got no money, so you're in an actual worse state than you were before. So anyway, the big sell-off was back in the early 80s. So you privatised all your companies. That's one of the conditions. You must get rid of your companies. So there's sell-offs. Now the problem you've got with that is that as soon as a company is taken over, the first thing they look at is trying to make this business viable, is to try and make it run efficiently so that you make money from this certain business. So a private company is coming in, buying up the railway service, buying up the electricity board, the gas board, all these little industries, and the first thing they do is they start to sack people. And the reason why they do that is to get their wage bill down. Any company's biggest outgoing is its wage bill, its workforce, so they start sacking people and putting more and more work onto other workers, which is no good for their stress, by the way. That's a whole other subject you can go into. But anyway, that's the problem with the IMF. You must fulfill these conditionality policies. And the next condition which you must fulfill is this. Over a period of time, 30 or 40 years, no matter how long it takes, this is what must happen. You must give your sovereignty over to a centralised government. You must slowly but surely give your power over to a centralised government. Now that government is in Brussels. That's the reason why a lot of our rules in Britain come from Brussels. They come over here, we tweak them around a little bit to make it a bit more British, or a bit less British if you like, just so that the people aren't aware of what is actually going on. So that's the IMF. They're based in Basel in Switzerland, and the World Bank is the equivalent, but it's based in America. And any country which gets involved with the IMF and the World Bank has these conditionality policies placed on them, and it just makes it an absolute nightmare for the government and the people of that country, because slowly but surely you get more and more taxes. That's the reason why we see all these stealth taxes come up we get these days. The taxes will go up and up and up, and your wages will go down and down and down. And there is a conspiracy out there which I don't really want to get into, to be honest, because I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, because there's no facts in conspiracy theories, just theories basically. But anyway, since the sell-offs of these companies and the privatisation of other companies, you've had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people losing their jobs. Now these people have got families to bring up, they've got mortgages, they've got loans to be paid back. And that's another reason why we find the banking industry in such a mess right now, is because the people are unable to pay their loans back, which they've taken out on the strength of their work. If they've lost their job, they just simply can't pay it back. Foreclosures at a record high in America, and we've got a similar problem over here, but not as bad as it is in America. Fortunately for us anyway, not yet. But anyway, that's another reason why we find there is no jobs for kids anymore. There's no proper jobs out there. Working in McDonald's is not a proper job. Working in Burger King is not a proper job. Working in Pizza Hut is not a proper job. You can only have so many of these places, Burger King, so many McDonald's, then the whole place is just smothered with these fast food outlets, which is not a proper career anyway. The proper careers have gone abroad. They're sacking loads and loads of workers over here to go and chase after the cheap labour, which is in China and the Far East, and even in Eastern Europe, in Czechoslovakia and places like that. So that's one of the reasons why Britain's in crisis. Is it going to get better? No, it's going to get a lot bloody worse.